Legion leadership, thanks. I think if we're going to add the Legion leaderships, we probably don't add the Arena of Glories because there's probably too many non-domain lands. Yeah, but I'm pretty interested in just going -2 Rage, -2 Misty Rainforest, +4 Misty Legion leaderships. Just thought for sure this card was double strike instead of double power. Double power is so weird, but being able to copy this is very cool. Being able to go double power again, quadruple power. It's just kind of like a one card kill too with your 5 power creatures, which I like. If you have the Leyline. And the fact that you don't have the lands of the 1-drops. Does FOMO really fit here? I don't know. The thing is, it's like the fact that it loots away your ley lines is like so nice. It's so nice, and the double strike in the double combat in theory is very good with the pump spells. I agree that getting domain is not easy to do, but at the very least, it seems worth playing since it has like such high upside and also like kind of incidentally gets to help you loot away all these freaking ley lines. Okay, snapping this one off on the draw against the Gigantha. NT giving trample is pretty decent, no? If your NT lives and you have another creature in play and your opponent doesn't have removal and you attack and you give trample, but oh no, you just played NT, so how can you play anything that turn? So you untap and then you attack with a creature again and you trigger NT again and then you get to cast something for the first time. It could be okay. The problem is there's just many combat steps that have to happen before you get to do that. We're going to go Steam Vents into Temple Garden here. Whereas FOMO, you just get the loot immediately, and then if you have Delirium, you get to double combat step, which seems pretty good in this deck. So untap Sacred Foundry. Kind of interesting. I imagine this is getting Bowmastered. Not good for us, obviously, especially with second Ragavan in the hand, but better for us than getting Scioned. Yeah, I agree. NT's just not good enough unless you're like if you have Street Wraith in your deck, if you have Cookbook in your deck, NT's like kind of playable. But if NT is just gonna be a 2-mana 2/2 that you need to untap with, and for it to be good, it's just not gonna be a card you want to register probably. Which probably shouldn't be too surprising, right? All right, a lot of good hits here for Ragavan, including that one. Just gonna get a basic forest, I guess. Lucy, come here. Oh no. Lucy threw up. Okay, they flames the Kavu. They know I have a Ragavan in hand. I'm going to need to clean up Lucy's puke here. Poor baby. So I was going to dash the Ragavan here. Now I kind of feel like I want to get my 5th domain. Maybe we'll just play this Lush Portico tapped. All right. Okay, so I don't have domain. I will have domain if I Legion leadership, though. But I think this turn I'm just going to dash the Ragavan, send in with both creatures, and then play Brawler and get a tapped Xander's Lounge, probably. Lucy, don't. Just follow Nestor. The next turn, if we draw, I sorry, we can just dash at Legion's Leadership next turn, and then this will be a 10 power Kavu that we're potentially attacking with twice. Notably, they didn't put Gigantha into their hand last turn. Obviously, people just forget about Gigantha a lot. Funny enough, we kind of wish they would maybe just tap out for Gigantha. They play an Arena of Glory with haste. Hopefully this is not... Oh, no. Okay, now they have remembered their Gigantha. I think this Legion's Leadership is actually just going to maybe save us, though. Or at least, like, help. We can trade, right? Okay, too bad we can't play that first. We have to go dash the Ragavan. And then whatever they block with the Scion, we get to kill with the Leadership. Oh no. Sorry, I forgot that we don't have Domain. Looks like it's not mattering so much, at least. Okay, so give it first strike. And trample, so they're gonna gain 6 and take. They're gonna gain 5 and take 6. My Ragavan is gonna die to their first strike. Yeah, we would have had to leave if we did it pre-combat. Okay, well that just stopped. Game 2. Seems like having Leyline Scion is a big part of winning this matchup. I'm gonna bring in my Force of Vigors. I cut the Ragavans against the Bowmaster build. And play 3 Consigns. Just very nice to just still have 12 pump spells. Wait. Sorry, 3 Consigns. They take 6. They would have taken 6 there because it would have been 10 power, first strike against 4 toughness. The Brawler size and first strike damage. Well, the Legion Leadership gives first strike, so they trade here, right? No, it doesn't. It doesn't get. Yeah, it's not double strike. It's double power and first strike, which is very weird. Okay, on the play for game 2. We have a hand that really needs to draw a land. I think that I'm gonna be. I think I'm just getting Xander's Lounge and trying to high roll the turn 3 kill. Not get there. Yeah, it's funny that today we had this deck when Leyline got banned in best of 1. Come on, land. Pretty punished, I guess. Gonna play that though, so that if we draw a land, we can go double creature, untap all these mites. Still be in like pretty good shape if we draw a land next turn. If they don't have double removal spell. That's not bolt. Okay, don't even need to fetch for it. Fortunately, we only have 1 green source too. Maybe I should just have just surveilled turn 1, huh? So they're gonna binding one of these two. Probably the Kavu, right? Force of Vigor could be a good top deck at this point. Fair enough. Force of Vigor is the best draw. There's our green source for the I don't know. We needed a little bit to go. That's okay. Maybe we should have mulliganed that hand. I am liking the leaderships though. I think the leaderships seem really sick. I think that someone else had suggested them before, like when we had played the deck and I didn't understand the interaction. This whole time the card just gave double strike. You see double and strike on the card, but not double strike. Yeah, seems fine for me to just lead on Blood Crypt into Temple Garden, Fomo, and then the Steam Vents gives me Delirium for the Scion, or Domain for the Scion. 8 Leylines in the deck, don't have one in our hand. Is Double Strike worse just because of opponents? Is Double Strike worse just because of opponent's Scion? I mean, Double Strike is worse because it doesn't work very well if it gets copied, right? So like if you copy a Double Strike card, then it's not really doing anything. You give it Double Strike twice, but doubling power copying is it's kind of like 4 times the power, and that's kind of what's exciting to me about it. Oops, sorry, because I probably still should get Temple Garden, but I might want to be getting Tap Surveil in next turn. Also possible that we were supposed to discard the Scion, because now, like, if we had done that, we could have had Delirium, and that would have been 14, 16? No, yeah, we got Glimpse comboed with that opening hand. That was such a cool hand. So I think our guys may kill this Dryad. My Amulet Titan opponent asked me if I've gone to the dark side too, which is pretty funny. Okay, fair enough. So 7 doubled to 14. Gotta keep that, I guess. Although maybe I'm supposed to just go for like this kill with Scion next turn. Probably better to like potentially deal them 14. Yeah, let's just attack with their Ragavan and see if they choose to block or not. That's pretty cool. Exiled their Lumra. Don't know how relevant that could be. My opponent says what? Yeah, this card's actually kind of dope. We may see some more of that. My opponent is probably going to kill me, though. They've got a Dryad and double Amulet here. You have 3 Force of Vigors and 4 Damping Spheres in the board. Why not the Green Overlord to help with Domain, as it's used in previous deck, removing the Triomes? Because it's much easier to just play 1 Triome in your deck and have Domain in your mana base and have to play a 3-drop. You can do the Overlord is kind of nice in like the Devotion deck, where it's like it's help like bridging the gap. It's giving you bigger juicy stuff to hard cast. That deck plays a bunch of Triomes. It's in this deck. It's much easier to just play 1 Triome and then be able to cast your Kavu on turn 2 and your Scion on turn 2, which is way more important. Didn't Legion's leadership make the top 8 at Pro Tour Nadu in a Blitz deck? Did it? I don't know how I would be like completely oblivious to that, but I guess I am completely oblivious to that. I'm gonna go to game 2. I can't sit through this. So we're gonna cut the vines. I think I'm gonna cut the Fomos. Yeah, was it a Blitz deck or was it just Boros with some of the card? Consign is like pretty good against them. I think it's just probably over sideboarding though. Do you like this better because now he knows he's dead if he doesn't kill the Scion? I don't know. It's like in theory, it's like getting our opponent to 4 means the ring is more punishing, but without burn in our deck, it's just not as true, huh? Yeah, I think Consign's just kind of over sideboarding. Maybe I could cut the Leyline of the Guildpacts, actually. I think that makes sense. Like, we don't really care about Hexproof very much. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I boarded an 11 cards. Yeah, I'm very I don't know how I totally missed this stack. Is FOMO any kind of consistent with Delirium? It's honestly not very easy to get Delirium. I mean, you have it's not if you have Scion in the yard, it's easy. If you have another FOMO in the yard, if they kill some of your stuff, it happens. No sorceries is pretty awkward, but it loots away your ley lines. If you can get Delirium, it's pretty broken. It's a good top deck. Sure. So one of in prowess. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool in prowess. I don't know how I just totally overlooked this card. Obviously, like MH3 season is so overwhelming. Kind of easy to miss some stuff. Okay, so we won't have domain because we can't go Xanders into. So my other black source is Blood Crypt, right? You know, if I had Overgrown Tomb, which maybe should be Overgrown Tomb instead, we'd be in there. So instead, I'm just going to go in and get Lush Portico, or sorry, hold on. Yeah, I put back the Sacred Foundry, then get Lush Portico. Thoughts on FOMO and Urge and Prowess? FOMO is pretty good with Slick Shot and DRC good at enabling. Yeah, it seems like something you could do. I don't know how good you are at enabling Delirium in that deck, which is obviously very important. Like, if you have a Dragon Rage's Channeler, it's online, but how often do you just have your Dragon Rage's Channelers? Endurance, maybe they have Loomer Analyst. I just don't know. I think there's too many sideboard cards, probably. To also try to endurance their analyst stuff. Endurance the analyst stuff is for whatever reason, like I've tried it a couple times. It just never seems like it gets the job done. Yeah, it seems like Tomb would be a lot better than Blood Crypt this game. If I do draw another Gaia's Might though, it's +8/+8/+4, so it is still lethal if I have 7 outs and two looks at them. Plus 4 Damping Spheres, plus Force of Vigor for the Saga. I'd assume you'd have to play Tarfire of a Bolt. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I thought a little bit about Infect Leyline. I haven't really barked too far down that tree, I guess. Okay, so they got to stop at my upkeep. Do they have a Leyline? Or sorry, Force of Vigor? Feels like they have Force of Vigor. They do. Let me just go ahead and +8 then. Wow, I would have had it. Damn it. Stupid Titan. I mean, Consign's really good now because they're pretty likely to ring. I can also just counter this. The problem with countering this, they can just go land ring. I might counter like an Amulet Trigger instead if they to stop a bounce land. Ooh. I'm in. Yeah. I don't think we can really consign chapter 3 there because we just like land ring is just slow. It's like so game over. Potentially game over. If they have Grazer, bounce land ring, we can cry ourselves to sleep. They're gonna have a Teleria West, 2 cards in their ham. Passes the turn. Then to Scion. I can pump for so much, but we're getting chump blocked, I'm assuming. Do have a lot of sideboard cards to draw into. Damping Sphere, Force of Vigor. Another copy of Consign. Just sideboard 11 cards for Titan, you'll be okay. Maybe. Okay. Maybe a little bit of an early concession, but maybe not also. Probably don't have too many outs. I like our sideboard plan. Cutting the ley lines makes a lot of sense, or these ley lines. Their Force of Vigors are kind of scary. So we can play Ragavan on turn 2 off Legion leadership. I mean, Force of Vigor is good. It ain't this good. You know what I mean? Okay, we're going to keep this 7. Sorry, keep the 6. I need to think, do I want... I feel like I really want this Kavu. Yeah, I think I'm just going to bottom Ragavan and then go Grixis Triome, Kavu, or potentially Dampings for turn 2. I would really like to Kavu on turn 2 instead, though. So we'll see how much pressure we're under. Kind of tough to not play the Damping Sphere against the Amulet, I think. I'm going to be potentially cooked against a Force of Vigor, although they did mulligan. They'd only have 2 cards in their hand at that point. Would have been nice if you were in my opening hand. Rookie question, if you copy a spell, do you have to pay extra for Sphere? No, Sphere only cares about the cast. We get consigned. Why do you have stops during opponents' main phases? Most stuff, I'd rather play beginning of combat in step. Kind of simply put, I play much, much, much faster than everybody, so I just like to have complete control over the game. It's what I've been doing for years. I'm very used to it. It reduces misclicks on the stream too. Okay, so now we have... Oh shoot. Well, so if I wanted to get... I can't get Hallowed Fountain, which I would need to have Domain plus... Yeah, so I guess I should have just casted and like left up the Steam Vents. For some reason I was thinking I could cast Kavu, get full Domain. So let's get Stomping Ground, I suppose. We still have Lethal next turn. It should still be 20 damage exactly. Yeah, 20 damage next turn. So we'll just do this Consign. Hopefully they play Ring and we just win. Foundry works. Well, Foundry doesn't let me... Oh, Foundry... Yeah, Foundry doesn't let me double Might next turn is the problem. I guess Fountain would either. I don't know what I was thinking there. I should have just cast it, held up the fetch. But please cast the Ring. Please cast the Ring. Alright, nice. They have 2 cards in their hand. We even beat Force of Vigor, though, because we could respond to the casting. So might as well loot first. Don't know what I'm playing around or drawing to. My opponent says, am I dead? I've always been more of a shower than a teller. GG's. A beat Titan. Just have 11 sideboard cards. Matchup's easy. Okay, beautiful hand here. This is 20 damage with the just Legion's leadership on the Brawler on turn 3. I'm definitely going to click the keep button. Power Depot. I mean, it's probably a Scales build. Kind of rare to see Bobble and Scales, though. Also kind of rare to see Power Depot, also. But yeah, I think I should just set up for the Brawler. So we play the Brawler, we Legion's leadership double the power to 10, copy it, double up to 20. Okay, my opponent is cooking. We even have Vines up to next turn, potentially. Fair. quite the top deck. You can probably play Phyrexian Crusader, don't lose too much card quality in this deck. We can't Legion's Leadership of Phyrexian Crusader, which kind of stinks. Basim! Their second Basim opponent today. Or was the other one yesterday? Might have been yesterday. Don't know if I love this one. It's kind of interesting. We'll have to see what the rest of the deck looks like, I guess. Don't like that it doesn't cast Basim. But here we get to kick Vines of the Vastwood. Oh no, we only get to do that if we draw a land. So right now we're only getting in for 16 unless we find a land or a pump spell. Ragavan is neither. We have a lot of lands and a lot of pump spells. Ding ding ding. Okay. So kick and copy. Dude, this is going to be huge. Hopefully they don't concede. Come on, let me have the 48 power Scion. I need to get my screenshot. Just for that opponent, I'm bringing in my Force of Vigors. That's what you get. It would have been 48 power. Maybe I am a Timmy. maybe always have been, huh? Probably not gonna mulligan this one. We actually want to hardcast the Leyline. I think I'm just gonna bait like Rebuke on the Fomo instead. Just loot away the Leyline. Pretty close to Delirium. Okay, maybe we're still gonna hardcast it. I didn't complain about a Force of Vigor, I guess. I kind of feel like we're getting rebuked. Okay. I don't just Affinity gamers, y'all really just never crack your baubles. Is that correct? I'm kind of freaking out because I've been playing against you guys a bunch, and y'all just don't seem to care about cracking bauble ever. Is that like just really like optimal? It's for Kappa. I mean, I guess so, but like, if you don't have Kappa, do you crack it? Like my opponent could have cracked one here and still played the Kappa Cannoneer. It seems like I'm keeping this on top, and then if my opponent blocks, which I don't really expect they are going to very often. I think we play out the second Brawler. This way we have 15 through a portable hole. We could also just play Leyline of Resonance and then one of the Mites next turn. No, they fixed the bug on Virtuoso, but we didn't have a very good time with the League, unfortunately. So that puts them technically not dead, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't block and pump, huh? I'd love to draw a Legion leadership. Math is for blockers. Although I think they can live here. Yeah, we go double might here. They go to 2, and they came with a cannoneer, so we'll go to game 3 here. Even if I pump here, I'm dead to this one. Alright, game 3 on the play. Lagging pretty bad. Clicking submit. So we got both ley lines. I'm gonna keep. We got some rare lands. We also have more lands in the deck now with the Legion's leadership or whatever. Everyone's thinking about their 7. This deck has been, I think, very, very fun so far. Also, do y'all want me to work on Delirium Prowess? Prowess plus Violent Urge and Fomo does sound kind of interesting. I kind of don't love... I guess Arena of Glory if you still just have DRC and Fomo, even though it's not good with Slickshot or Swift Spear is probably still fine. Let's do it. Yeah, I'll like give it a go tonight, and then if it's interesting, we'll play it on Wednesday. Yeah, we played Clever Luminancer with Leyline plus Mutagenic. It's just, I don't know. Did not go very well. This deck has been a bit better so far. Alright, they mulled to 4. Will they crack their bauble? They will. They decided not to play this fetch land sub game with me. Is Prowess even good right now? I mean, no, but like the idea of... I mean, Prowess can't be that bad, I think, if we're doing so well with decks like Jund, Delirium, Aggro, if we're doing so well with I guess maybe mainly that one. I think it's a pretty similar formula. Yeah, I saw the Woodlands Omniscience list with Flare and the looter that like dies or that loots when it dies. That card is so cool with Flare. I'm like pretty into that one. This deck seems to have a pretty similar plan to Infect. Do you think Infect could have a good chance this meta, or is there too much cheap removal? I mean, this deck just seems so much better than Infect. Like, our threats are Territorial Kavu, Scion of Draco, Fomo, Brawler, Ragavan. Our pump spells pump for 5 instead of pumping for 4, you know? That's just double. It doesn't feel like we like really need to have Infect on this. Like, we just have like... Or like as fast as them. Maybe you have more turn 2s or whatever. I'm gonna send this one back on the draw probably. Somewhat borderline, I suppose. Let's try this one. I'm gonna put back the Vines. My opponent's on a 7-card keep. It seems like they have a pre-game action. A lot of ley lines today. Yeah, it's another spot where I would really like an Overgrown Tomb. Obviously, it's because I've drawn the Sacred Foundry. I think if I would play this deck again, I would play Overgrown Tomb over the Blood Crypt. I guess you can't get it off Arid Mesa. It's maybe okay. And also okay, we just lose to Leyline Scion. That's the mirror. Very fun, very interactive. Infinitely replayable. Okay, so I'm going to bring in, some answers to that. Ragavan's out against the presumed Bowmaster build. Let's keep the Fomos in this time. I think they're like just kind of nice top decks. The ability like to cut vines in these spots I think is pretty cool. Trim at leadership. I want to explore Death Shadow Violent Urge to first type deck. Well, Fitzies, we just top forward a modern challenge with a Jund Delirium aggro deck. But Death Shadow gamers, you can have similar feelings to playing Death Shadow, but you just don't have to play Death Shadow in the deck anymore. You can play Flytrap and Fomo and Channeler and still have the experience of playing a Jund aggressive Street Wraith Life Lost deck. But the problem is, like Shadow, you just can't cast that card on turn 1. Nethergoyf, you can cast that card on turn 1. It's just like, it's all about the turn 1, baby. Alright, so we don't have Leyline Scion. We do have Scion. We don't have full domain. Let's just go to 6, I think, in this matchup. Don't think we can mulligan this one, though. Okay, my opponent doesn't have a Leyline this time, which is obviously huge news. After feedback on Treacherous List yesterday, I went into tank. Having Per Eo make Eldrazi conscription free might be worth exploring. I mean, it's only free if you have 8 auras in play. Which is kind of asking a lot, I think. But I would basically never register Eldrazi conscription unless I had that 3/2. That's whose name I can't recall. All right, so I'm gonna bolt. I'm gonna go ahead and take this trade, I think. This kind of implies they don't have binding or tribal flames. Maybe they have flames, they just can't cast it. I don't even know if they would attack though. Second Ragavan. Okay. If we draw a land, we get to play around flames. Okay. Wooded Foothills is in fact a land. We have lethal next turn. If they make us use a Gaia's Might to beat a burn spell, we no longer have lethal. If they have a binding, we're kind of cooked. Kavu? So we actually kill through Stubborn Denial here too. So there doesn't see much reason to not play Legion's Leadership. It's just more damage, right? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I didn't realize that either one was lethal. Sorry. I didn't realize that the Fetch Shock put them dead to a single one. We are not getting our screenshots here. Our opponents are not letting us get our screenshots. It's very upsetting. They just keep conceding too quickly. Jorge with the Twitch Prime, thank you. That's a keep. Puts on the mold to 6. Just being able to answer Scion on the draw and having Leyline plus creature plus guys might just kind of an easy keep, right? Opponent's thinking about their 6-card hand. Esther, Athena's asking to come inside. Can you get her? I think Esther's in a meeting. I'm going to go get Athena real quick. Sorry about that. We beat Titan. Okay, my opponent keeps their 7. They have no Leyline. So it probably will be good for me to wait on the Brawler. Also, Overgrown Tomb would also be good in this hand. But wait on the Brawler until I can have Consign up for a binding and Gaia's Might up for a burn spell. Well, opponent's a genius. Which is bad news for us. We're doing pretty good against Leyline here. Not doing so good against Bolt or Tribal Flames. I would love for my opponent's turn to be Scion plus Leyline Binding, and I go Force of Vigor. So they have a Flames. Is that a frog in their domain deck? Yeah. Seems pretty good. Flying Frog. Don't think I'm going to consign the draw a card here. Yeah, I don't have Gaia's Might up. Probably just scoop if I don't draw a creature here. Ah, teasing me with Legion's leadership. Okay, let's wait for a 3-2. Get a 3-2 prediction. So I think tonight I'm working on Delirium Prowess and then also Enchant. Like I want to circle back to the Enchantress deck too, and play the potentially the Green Overlord of the Enchantress deck. See how that feels. But the Enchantress deck seems very good against the Energy / Dimir, and then you have a good amount of equity in the other matchups too. I would think. I think I'm gonna play around Spell Snare, which is just of course such a common one. Could also play Ragavan with Vines up. If I tried Fog in a Fomo deck, I don't think I mean, obviously Frog is very good. Fomo is very good. I have not had both of them in the same deck. Fomo and tapping Frog is good. I wonder if we can splash for Frog in our. Excuse you. I wonder if we could splash for Frog in our Arcanist deck, maybe. It's pretty awkward with all the Arena of Glories, though. You have to cut Arena of Glory. So I should probably Vines. Opponent's kind of surprised. Frog over Fomo is discard outlet for dead Leylines in this deck. I mean, yeah, maybe. I think I like that too. It's obviously hard to cast, but I think that's okay. I'm gonna play the Scion also. My opponent said Vines. I'm gonna say Path. So next turn we can go Ragavan Vines Legion's Leadership for 12 damage. My opponent's draw has been pretty good though. Control matchup seems like kind of a fucking nightmare. Maybe we could steal game one here. Draw Fomo. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick to this plan of dash Ragavan. Go to combat. You've already used one Solitude. How many Path to Exiles can they possibly be playing, too? How do we queue into the freaking Path to Exile opponent? So unfair. Although this stack is pretty nostalgic. Okay. And we concede. And I think it's lunchtime. This deck is very sweet. I'm not playing against the Path to Exile. Blue-white gamer. Path, Solitude, Teferi. No thanks. No thanks. That's okay. You can have that one. Very fun deck, though. I agree Frog over Fomo is probably a direction to go. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat some lunch. I will work on Domain Devotion Enchantress. I will work on Delirium Prowess tonight, maybe something else. Might play some more Rakdos tomorrow, we'll see. But that is all for me today.